Good day, criminals, vagabonds, and miscreants. This is Rave Master, aka Mad Apple, bringing you a League of Legends Shoutcast for your viewing pleasure. And today, I've got another game for you guys. Sorry I haven't uploaded in so long. I was in the Big Apple, New York, just having a great time, watching the marathon, cheering people on, and eating a lot of pizza. I'm not gonna lie, the pizza there's pretty good, so I had more than my fair share of it, that's for sure. But now that I am back from that concrete jungle, I'm ready to do more shoutcasts, and also got some good news on the front of my future prospects. Everything's going great. Got another meeting this Saturday. I'm gonna go grab some dinner, hit the bars with my future business partner. We're gonna see how that goes. But so far it's looking up on the up and up. So until that transitions into anything, I don't have much else to say about it except for think of one thing, and that one thing is two-headed gamer. Anyways, right now, with the two-headed gamer in your mind, we're going to transition to this game. At first, I was going to say, hey, the patch just went through, the servers just went live, don't expect any high-level game, but then I see we have Hashinshin and Nightblue. Don't know if that's actually them, but I do have a sneaking suspicion it is in this game. It looks like Nightblue did the ballsy, risky move and stole the enemy blue buff, and now is trying to do his own. He has 3 CS, Vi has 7, which means that she did her red, did her race, and did the enemy red. Actually, that's Jarvan's red. So they stole each other's buffs. No, wait. Jarvan took his blue. Vi took her red. And now Jarvan's come all the way over here to steal Vi's blue. And is in the process of taking it right now. Oh, man, I'm so confused by that fact. That is such a ballsy move, Nightblue. Only you would do that on Jarvan against Vi, and it looks like Vi has warded over the wall right now. It sees Jarvan taking the blue, and it's going to be a smite battle to the death. Let's go over the champion picks before we go away with this smite battle. On the blue team, we are going to have in the top lane the Donger, Heimerdinger. Mid lane will be Orianna. Jungle going to be Dat Vi, and we're going to see a Corki being supported by a Thresh in the bot lane. For the red, aka purple team, there's going to be a Scion in the top lane. Jungle will be Nightblue on Jarvan. Also, that Scion is Hashinshin. Just wanted to throw that one out there. Mid lane will be Ahri, and we're going to have a Graves being supported by an Annie in the bot lane. And let's go back to that epic jungle fight, because no doubt lives will be lost, buffs will be stolen. And we are going to unpause it. Jarvan will get the last hit smite right there. I think he actually smited then the last hit it as well. And now, unfortunately, Nightblue got nowhere to go. Always got an EQ combo to keep him safe, and he will try to EQ over the wall. Won't be in turret aggro range because of the bush, and he will get out thanks to Scion lending him support. So that's going to be a 3-buff start for Jarvan, most assuredly. Unless Vi decides to go up here and go after him. She does have a lot more health, but very low on mana. Without that blue buff, has no way really to kill Nightblue. He is very low though. If she got, I mean, she can't really get the jump because she has no flash, she has no vault breaker. So her chances of killing him are very low for sure at this moment. And that's probably why she wouldn't go in. No flash, no vault breaker, no way to get on top of Jarvan. All he's got to do is EQ out of there, and he's in the clear. So with that covered, Jarvan or Nightblue going to be picking up that 3-buff start. Going to definitely help him out. Going to cost that Vi a lot. It's going to be a lot harder to gank early without that mana regen. Like, farming and ganking together is going to be very difficult to do for sure. And right now we're going to have Nightblue go straight in for the gank, but he's like, ow, turret's hurt, what do? He's going to still EQ, putting himself on the wrong side of a lot of turrets, I'm not going to lie. This gank just going to end up in a bunch of damage for Nightblue. Sounds going to walk through the turrets to act like he's helping, but just end up taking a lot of damage himself as well. Down here in the bot lane, you got some classic lanes. Annie, Graves, a lot of burst, and of course Thresh, Corki, a lot of burst as well, along with some crowd control to go with it. Annie's fallen off a bit as a support, but I still do like her. One of my personal favorite supports, just because I really like Annie character design. She actually reminds me of my little sister, to be honest, who's equally high-pitched in voice and quite annoying in the mid lane. Ooh, it seems like we did miss a kill. Let's go back 15 seconds. Make sure we definitely do see that one. Looks like Ahri's super low under turret. Yeah, I can see a flash in from Orianna into a Q, W, and Ignite. There it is, the flash, Q, W, Ignite. We'll be picking up the kill there. And that is going to be an easy pickup for Orianna. I mean, it did cost her 2 summoner spells. That's a lot to commit to 1 kill for sure. But it is going to work out in the end. And it looks like Vi is in the bot lane. A ward will catch her. And red team's going to be knowing this is coming as Vi does launch out with the Q. But not going to make contact with anything. And that is going to be that for the blue team as a jungler gank. Not really succeeding much, putting pressure on the lane, which of course is good, especially against a lane with a Thresh in it. If you make the enemy team scared, their scare is going to grow exponentially. The reason for that is Thresh hook is always a very real possibility. When your jungler shows up, they're like, whoa, the jungler is nearby, and this team has a Thresh. He's got hook, he's got lantern. That just escalates how dangerous a jungler like Vi is. So now that they know the jungler is nearby, they're going to play even safer than they were before, because they know Thresh has such great ways to get the jungler in. Looks like both junglers are going to be collapsing on this lane. A little bit of iffy on going in. Jarvan's going to EQ in, get a little bit of damage on the Corki, but mostly the Valkyrie just going to come out to keep him safe. And Graves along with Annie very low right now. Looks like the mid laner for the red team going to grow him on down. Thresh taking a ton of damage. Will pop a flash and a heal flash from him and a heal from his carry. Nice stun from Annie right there. It looks like Ahri, Jarvan going to try to make the plays happen. Vi's down here. Orianna roaming as well. Hook's going to land on the Ahri, but that's just really going to buy them time to try to escape. Ahri's here. All she needs to do is land the charm. This is going to be a big charm. The flash will dodge it, but unfortunately Thresh left to eat the charm himself instead of his ADC. And that's going to be the first kill for red team. Will they be able to pick up another? The Orbit Deception pass through on the back. True damage. Going to pick up another kill for Ahri. And Orianna has decided to go back mid lane, but the flash in from the jungler and the support are going to lock down the Corki and give a kill up to the Annie. So 3 for 0 in favor of red team. A nice roam by Ahri. Able to get a lot of kills and do a lot of damage here in the bot lane. However, Orianna has been safe to farm the mid lane herself and push the turrets a little bit. Looks like she might be roaming bot lane now. She does have level 6 and her ultimate will actually just be still in the enemy Wraith camp. And this is actually going to be bot lane tower, almost 7 minutes into the game. Bot lane turret going to go down to the red team, which a bit of an early turret, but going to give them a nice amount of global gold to follow that one through. And almost going to be Elder Lizard finished for Jarvan. Does have the components to it. Vi just going home with a longsword for herself. And right now we do see the Chalice of Harmony finish on Ahri. An interesting pickup. A lot of people would rather rush their damage, their DFG. Mind you, maybe if they're against AD laner, just rush the Seekers into Zonias. But you don't always see a Chalice on Ahri. She's not the most spam heavy champion, and normally a couple Doran's rings is enough for her. But definitely not a bad pickup. I mean, every mage could use the mana regen as long as they use mana as a resource, so it's never a terrible pickup, to be honest. And we are just going to see them trade farm in the mid lane. Both of them have that Chalice completed, so they will just be trading farm, no doubt. Looks like Sion's going to go all in with his ultimate. The ultimate also going to come out from Heimerdinger, and it looks like they are going to disengage that a little bit in the top lane. 2 ultimates burned, and a lot of damage being put down on the Donger as his ultimate runs out. Ooh, that's a nice thing about Sion, actually, against Heimerdinger. He does have the option of yelling back the turrets at the Donger. Looks like he's going to try to dive this. The Heimerdinger will pop the exhaust down, and that is going to dissuade Sion from going any deeper, although he did have flash, so maybe flash auto attack flash Q was a possibility, but he decides not to. And it looks like the Valkyrie coming out, and unfortunately the ultimate coming out for Jarvan, and that's going to be a dead Corki. That's what I love about Jarvan. He's got the long range initiation, and his EQ will burn your first escape, so you have nothing left for the Cataclysm. He knew Corki didn't have flash because he burned it in that last fight, dodging the charm. So it was just an easy matter of burning the Valkyrie with the EQ and then going in with the ultimate for the kill. And this is going to be a free, uncontested dragon for red team as they pick up an even greater global gold advantage, bringing them up to 13.5k. A nice early lead for them. And just everyone on their team right now is ahead. Sion destroying Heimerdinger and farm. Ahri behind farm a decent amount, but does have those 2 kills and an assist. And we are seeing the Graves and Corki relatively even on farm, but of course the Graves has a kill where the Corki does not. So that's going to help him out. He went first item Brutalizer. Going to probably build that into Youmuu's eventually. An interesting pickup for the Graves. Normally not a generally seen ADC item, except for when they did change it to give full effect to ranged champions. We've seen it a lot more on ADCs like Twitch, ADCs like Lucian. A little bit more rare on Graves as he doesn't really focus that much on auto attacks, at least early game. The cooldown reduction in Armor Pen will definitely help with his burst though, which is most likely why he bought it at this stage of the game. Looks like he might be going to Findy Edge next. With that pickaxe, could of course be a Last Whisper, but there's really no one on the other team building armor, so an early Last Whisper seems a bit vain if you want to ask me. So we are going to have Jarvan doing a little bit of counter warding. There will be one still in the river though, so Unless Nightblue goes for lane gank, he should be safe, and it looks like we are going to have an ult-in from the Orianna. Ult's going to hit the Ahri, and Ahri is going to die to the auto attack and ignite. That flash a little bit presumptuous, I think. Advised to coming to defend the friendly Orianna, which they will do an absolute crap load of burst damage, bursting down that Jarvan to nothing very quickly. A surprising amount of damage coming out right there. Sorry if I yelled a little bit right there. I say right there way too much. I need to stop that for sure. So a lot of damage coming out onto the Jarvan, and I mean, he's not very tanky. That's just what it is. He got rid of the other lizard and nothing else. And I don't know what his runes and masters are looking like. 59 armor, 50 magicers, so I mean, they're definitely not bad in terms of tankiness, but they're definitely not ideal right here. So that is going to be an unfortunate move for red team, as they do lose 2 right there in the mid lane. It looks like the Donger going to be getting a little bit dove by the Sion. He's going to have to back up there defensively. And it looks like Sion's going to go for some quick magic resist right there, as he has picked up a Negatron Cloak. Probably looking to build into a Brutalizer next. Could be a Tiamat or Ravenous Hydra. We're going to have to wait and see. I mean, I haven't played Sion enough to know really where his build path should be, but I have a feeling that he's doing a decent job with it right now. Gotta get a little bit of early damage. Looks like he will use his ult to try and get some burst damage out, but in the end, he's just gonna eat a butt ton of turret aggro, both from Donger turrets and the base turret, or I guess outer turret. So he's gonna have to recall out of that. Sion doesn't really have the damage at this point for a turret dive, unfortunately for him. It looks like Graves gonna try to do the turret dive himself, will not pick it up. The hook gonna get skillfully dodged by the Graves, and that fillet was nowhere near where it needed to go. And it looks like we are going to have Jarvan trying to perpetuate a turret dive here. The charm will hit the vibe. Will should be going down. Looks like Ahri does not want to commit her ultimate yet. Thresh is going to come out, not hitting anyone as they do dissipate before anyone runs into them. Looks like Thresh is in a bit of a bad situation. Will ult to get the burst on the Vi, bringing her down, giving Corki, though, the kill as revenge. And Ahri going to pick up another kill for herself, bringing her to 3 and 2 as she does orb through the Thresh, picking that one up. And we do just have Sion clearing these turrets for all he's worth right now in the top lane. It looks like they might pick up another turret here in the bot lane, as the top lane turret also definitely getting pressured as well. And that is going to be a tier 2 turret only 12 minutes into the game, as bot lane has definitely cemented their advantage there. Graves and Corki still hitting equal farm, but that global gold from the turret and that dragon definitely going to be helping Graves out as he goes back. Doesn't really pick up much yet. Not going to pick up anything at all. And it's like Andy's taking a lot of damage actually in the bot lane. Oh, it's just trying to farm these goals. Might actually get executed. Single digits of HP. Was probably hitting about 1 or 2 HP to those little golems there. She did pick up the big one though. So I guess in the end that's really all that matters. I mean, gotta kick out that big one. Leave the little one to let the other jungler know you care. I mean, I'm sure the other jungler just loves it when you leave them a small wraith, a small wolf, maybe a little golem. I'm sure they're just like, oh, at least they left me some farm here. Of course, that's being sarcastic. You're counter jungling. It's an ass move to do, but hey, you gotta do it. You gotta do to win. Looks like we're gonna have a nice Orianna ult pull in too. Vi going ham in this situation, but Orianna's taking a ton of damage in return. No one will end up dying on red team until Corki came in and took a kill with an auto attack. He's gonna ride the Thrush Lantern missile, gonna get dashed away from. Will they have the speed to catch up? The ultimate from Heimerdinger doing a little bit of damage, but not a lot. Graves dodging these missiles left and right. The big one, though, gonna land as he had no room to juke. And he's gonna go down. Orianna barely staying alive as Jarvan tried to get the kill right there. Nightblue now gonna be forced to retreat. Will he be able to survive, or will the Corki missiles pick up another? The auto attack actually gonna be the killing blow, and this one is Thresh. Once again, Lanterns is ADC towards another kill. Now Sion is here, though. And red team is just losing members. Like, I can't think of an appropriate analogy for the situation, unfortunately. So we are not going to say one out loud. I'll think of one, though. I'm sure later I'll think of a good analogy. However, Orianna going to be picking up her blue buff. And that's going to be some nice mana regen and cooldown reduction for her. She did just pick up a kill and a number of assists here. Corki picking up a couple kills for himself. Going to bring him to 4 and 2. Cementing his advantage over the other ADC, despite the fact he has no turrets in that his lane, and all he's got left is an inhibitor turret to his name. You're going to see Heimerdinger be picking up that Seeker's arm guard and allow him to rush that Zonius, which is very good on Heimerdinger. Pop down your turrets, pop that Zonius, and you got a lot of free damage coming out from them. Kind of the same thing as Swain. Swain pop his ultimate, put in that Zonius, and your ultimate's still going through, dealing the damage, healing yourself. But, I mean, you can't take any damage in that form. I also believe even if you run out of mana, you won't stop using bird form in Zonias. I don't know for sure, but I think it's like that. We're going to see the dragon started by the red team, but continued by the blue team as they do pick this one up. Vi gonna last hit that one, and gonna try to get out of this room. And the wall coming out from Thresh. Ari's a big close for comfort, I believe, but it looks like they are gonna be able to clean up the blue team nonetheless. As 2 go down at the start, will Graves be picking up a 3rd kill here? One more auto attack. No, it's gonna go to the charm from Ari. Orianna ult gonna be the whiff as it hits absolutely nothing in the dragon pit. She got a whole lot of air in that ball, and it is going to be a 3-for-0 trade. Blue team did get Dragon a nice constellation prize, but they lost a lot. And I believe that one's definitely going to be in favor of the red team. As now they do have a little bit of time to exert some map pressure. It looks like the Brutalizer was picked up for the Scion. Sorry about that. Rave Master's Water Bottle making another appearance in this video. As Hashinshin moseys on back to his lane. 0-0-0 right now, 160 farm. This is the kind of farm you expect from Hashinshin, just constantly pushing his turret and picking up those waves. The Donger, not even the Donger is matching up for him. Has only 97 farm to his name. Obviously those turrets not as good at last hitting as he wishes they were. Oh, wow, I'm just obviously a lot tired than I think I am. I just can't stop yawning. Sorry about that, but I gotta get a video out. It's been too long for sure. And, well, with that said, looks like we do hear the Scion ult coming in top lane. The Donger no doubt hears it too. He's gonna try to escape. Will he be able to get the ult on him? And, oh, he will not hit the AoE. But Hashinshin's out for blood. Gonna land that slow. Charging up the Q, will land the knockup, and he's going to go after him. Does he have the damage to pick up a kill here, though? We're going to have to see. The turret's doing a nice amount of damage, but a lot of magic resist coming out from Hashinshin. He's going to miss the scream, though, and he's going to get kited around in circles by this Donger, but the Donger out of mana right now will no doubt fall to the Sound. Just got to wait for the, did not wait for the exhaust to run out to pop the shield, but will pick up the kill anyways. A nice play by Hashinshin, only missing 1 skill shot in that fight. And of course, a Donger without mana is a sad Donger indeed. So he will end up going down there. Oh, here comes the Vi, gonna be charging up in on that Ari. Will get charmed though, take a lot of damage from the orb. Will decide to flash out. Some flashes burned as well from the red team, but the kill is gonna be going to the Ari, to Das Ari. She's gonna be picking that one up, putting it in her wallet, banking those coins. And looks like they might try to do a push on mid lane, perhaps. No, looks like they're just going to recall back out of this situation. Nice hook going to land on Ari. The Valkyrie not going over the wall. She's going to take a lot of damage. However, will she fall? She will not fall to the Thresh. The ball going to only pick up Annie. And that's a lot of blown abilities for naught. And now here comes the Scion, getting a knock up and stun on Corki. And that will be a kill for the Graves. Here comes the charge from the Scion, taking no prisoners. Hashinshin getting the slow onto the Orianna, gonna get a forward charge knock up on her as well. Really just gonna be able to zone them away from the turrets. Not much else, but here comes Jarvan. EQ knock up from Scion. He will end up going down, but giving a kill to his friendly Jarvan. And here comes the Scion. Ghost gonna be right clicking things a lot, but unfortunately not able to pick up anything. And Hashinshin falls to his first death. 180 farm, 1-1 and 2s. Got that Spirit Visage, got a Brutalizer, and he's well prepared to play this game. And really, that Spirit Visage is going to give him huge returns this game. Spirit Visage is an interesting choice, maybe the right one. I think it procs his passes, so when he heals with his auto attacks, he gets more HP from them. But I think a Banshee's Veil might have been better in this situation. It would stop the Heimerdinger stun. It might stop an Orianna ult. Doubtful. It's probably honestly just going to get procced off from a Corki missile or Q, or something like Orianna Q. But I mean, if it stops a Thresh hook, if it stops a Vi Q, if it stops a Orianna ult, grenade from Heimerdinger, I mean, those are all great things to stop. And he really doesn't have heals outside of his passive, which only applies when he's dead. So I almost would have liked Banshee though. The cooldown reduction from Spirit Visage though, definitely going to be nice. So I mean, you can make arguments either way, and I think both are valid build paths for sure. It looks like Scion going to continue to build tanky, picking up a Warren's Mill, no doubt, to be building that one into a Randuin's. Continuously farming this top lane. The armor pen right now, I mean, the armor right now are really just going to be stopping a lot of Vi's damage. Corki still does a lot of magic damage at this stage of the game. I dare say it might be the majority of his damage, although with Trinity Force completed, that maybe not true. But we're going to be seeing some Warden coming out from the blue team. They're going to have to be warden up their own jungles, not the enemy jungle, because they've lost all their outer turrets so far. And turret counts, it's 5-0. A huge gold lead for purple team. So they've got to bring these wards back, protect their jungle, and watch for ganks coming through their own jungle, because that's definitely what red team is doing now. They're trying to roam as a team, but these wards are definitely going to keep them safe. The Orion, for one, not going to be picking up a kill there, as Annie does flash out of the phosphorus bomb for Corki. And we are just going to see the Scion retreat, taking a bit of damage into his back. And we are just going to see him back that one up. Here comes the ultimate, though, from Vi on the other side of the mid lane. And she's going to try to pick up an Ahri, but Ahri will ult away. So it's ult for ult, all said and done. All right, they're not a terrible trade for either side. We are going to see Graves kite back, but here comes the Scion. Who will he hit? That is the question. The answer to that is no one. The flash forward into miss slow, but we are going to have Corki going down to the Ahri anyways. And right now we do see the fight continuing. The Donger on the wrong side of the enemy team. Well, actually he's on the right side, but he's very far away from his own team. The hook going to come in and catch the big brute Scion, but Jarvan's going to snipe one in the back as Corki does end up falling to him. Jarvan taking a lot of damage, but Orianna getting focused here by the side. He's going to have to retreat, though, as the turret's doing a ton of damage, and he's got very little mana left. Not a lot on the HP and mana bars of this red team, but it looks like they have enough to make a push of it. Got some health still on the ranged champions, which is really what's big for picking this turret, and the inhibitor turret gonna go down for blue team, as now the red team needs to retreat, as they don't have the resources to continue to push. All in all, very good turnaround for red team, as they do turn like a pseudo initiation onto Graves into 2 kills for them and an inhibitor turret, and he's gonna be starting Dat Dragon, and Graves gonna miss his dash over the wall. Wow, he is this has nice aggro swapping coming out here from Annie, though. A little bit iffy at times, but in the end, definitely a good job from her to aggro swap with her bear, because Dragon's got pretty long turn time. So if you can aggro swap from one thing on one side to another thing on the other side, it's got to turn to each target as one gets closer and one gets further away, because it always targets the closest one. So if you move closer to it, it'll turn to target you, and if you move away, it'll turn to target something on the other side. You can just keep it perpetually turning if you do it right, and boom, Dragon does no damage. Ideally, it does no damage. In a real situation where we misclick or we don't click ideally, it does a little bit less damage, which is, I mean, still definitely a bonus, especially when your HP is low. I mean, if you got full HP and the enemy's not going to contest it, who cares? But, I mean, if you're low and you've got an ally, doesn't hurt to try. Anyways, we are going to see all the teams reset, all back to full resources. They're going to be farming a little bit, preparing for their next fight. It looks like Annie's going to find it in the form of the enemy Orianna, as she does get nuked down super fast. Jarvan's going to be the next one, jumped on. They're all going to be burnt for him. The flash over them all going to be coming out. The zone is going to keep Orianna alive. Jarvan's still very low, as he does end up going down. Ahri did, in fact, pick up the Orianna, but now going to get hooked herself and killed by the Corki Scion. Now the last one up. He's going to use his ultimate. Can't stop that, he says, as he does end up running up the top lane. Does in fact get stopped by the turret, but will get very far away. It looks like blue team not going to pursue the booty, but will instead go to their mid lane, where Graves is trying to do the fast push. However, now the whole enemy team is here. Might be a good time to leave Graves. Just, you know, a thought on that one. Vi enemy coming in with a Q. Got the Yomu's already finished on the Graves with the Infinity Edge. And woo, he's going to play a little bit of a dangerous game with this Vi. But yeah, the blue team will retreat from the situation, as they are obviously scared of that solo Graves. And I believe that was a 3-for-1 in favor of the blue team in that last fight. They did get Orianna, but they did end up losing 3 of their own for it. And it looks like right now, red team, the Graves scaring away the enemy team. The Annie, I believe, didn't hit anything. I'm not certain about that one. I actually didn't even see it go off, or I just wasn't paying attention. I'm a little bit tired, so my attention tends to wane a little bit from time to time. Sorry if you can't hear me as well. I'm trying to keep my mic in equal distance from my face, but it's a little bit difficult at times. Apparently, because I'm really bad at this whole recording setup thing. But all good things do come with practice. So Orianna be sitting on the Grail along with the Zonius, who gets 300 HP. Ahri's got her DFG, Void Staff, and Athene's. A lot of power in her hands. even again, especially against the enemy team with no magic resist. She's going to be doing a lot of damage to them. The voice staff not as useful against a no magic resistance team, but still going to be nice. Actually, Vi does have that Aegis, so it's going to be cutting down the extra AoE magic resist that it gives. And it looks like we are the Heimerdinger is going to be in a bad spot. Will pop, and that zone is after dropping down the turret. That's why Jarvan's going to be the one initiating on this fight. The Orianna going to come down, only catching Jarvan. And it looks like they're just going to be nuking him down, grabbing him with the Thresh, and he will end up dying in the 2 against 4. And now Sion's got to run for his life. The rest of his team, though, looking to maybe push bot. Actually, they're all scattered around. Ari's the only one pushing bot. There are 3 up here. They should really be grouping together and pushing something. Look at how long Sion's Hashinshin taking one for the team, staying so long, doing battle with the enemy team. The DFG coming out onto the Orianna, but alas, it will mean nothing. And unfortunately, red team had all that time to push. They were almost the entirety of blue team was topping. They could have pushed mid, they could have pushed bot, taken an inhib. There were so many options, but unfortunately, they did not take any of them. And that is just going to be a death on Sion. Nothing really to show for it. Also, Jarvan died a while back. Took them a really long time to kill Sion, though. Unfortunately, though, Team Nightblue Hashinshin not picking up anything from their deaths, and their gold lane has slightly dwindled, but still sitting at a comfortable amount of lead. Plus, the naked inhibitors can be big. Blue team hasn't even taken a single turret for themselves. So, I mean, it's not looking good for them. I'm not going to lie, it's not. But it still could go either way. I mean, they've got the pick potential on blue team. Well, they kind of got the pick potential. They've got Vi, Orianna, Corki, kind of like a weird mix of random champions team, to be honest. And we do hear the Silent Ultimate coming out. Orianna gonna eat that one to the face as she does get charmed, knocked up, and obliterated before she can even pop that ultimate. And it looks like we are gonna see a double kill coming out from Graves. Already picking up one herself, as a well-orchestrated team fight is going to be the demise of blue team here. Red team could, no, probably not push for the win. I mean, it's still pretty early on in the game. They don't have any creep waves with them, so pushing for the win is definitely not something that can happen here. But they are going to push for a couple of inhibitors, that's for sure. They do take the first one mid, and Graves already rotating bot lane to pick up that one. Unfortunately, he's going to find a Thresh and be like, well, I didn't expect that one to happen. Will end up going down there despite his best efforts to get kills, but they will get the Thresh as a consolation prize. I don't think they can win. They should really just focus on this inhibitor. There's no way they're going to win here. I mean, Orianna's up, got that ultimate, boom, bursting 1, 2 going down to Orianna. And that 3-person stun for Hashinshin. He will get exhausted, though, as they do use that as a slow to try and catch up to him. He will be backing out of this as fast as possible, but he does not have the HP to survive this situation, and will end up going down to the Vi. He's going to use his passive to try and do as much damage as possible, but in the end, he is just too slow, and will end up going down. The thing about that passive from Sion, I mean, it does a decent amount of damage, and it's okay in terms of speed when you use his little speed buff, but the thing is, he's so tanky, he normally dies very late in fights. Now testing the waters with his E, wants to go in there and steal that Baron, but unfortunately his E will not be back up by the time the Baron is down, so he's going to have to flash over the wall if he wants to steal it, but will get ulted by Vi, not going to die, will end up dying. The Spirit of the Elusive proc. Baron going to be going to the Vi anyways, to the Heimerdinger, I mean. Vi will trade her life jungler for jungler. And in the end, I mean, blue team got the Baron for it, so definitely worth the dive for Vi. Although Graves, the better timed ultimate, might have been able to steal that, to be honest, but there was no jungler. It looks like Sion going to ult top wave lane, trying to save his turret and protect the wave. And he will just be ground pounding that for nice amounts of damage. How much is that? Ooh, that's a lot. 600 plus 35. That's a fair amount of damage from the Sion ultimate, not gonna lie. I hadn't actually, like, the number, it seems like a really good ultimate on paper. The problem is it's hard to steer, and it's hard to hit people with, and it's just hard to be reliable with it. With all these, with champions with gap closers, it's very difficult to make the ultimate that viable. However, this is a team without a lot of gap closers. Heimerdinger, Orianna, they don't have gap closers. Thresh does not have a gap closer for himself. And it looks like we are going to have the nuke down happening in the bot lane as Ari picks up a Heimerdinger. Orianna going to be picking up an Annie, though. that is 1 for 1 so far. Both teams got 4 people left. No Sion ultimate up right now. No Ari ultimate. However, to also say there is no... Actually, Oriana's still up. Oriana still got her ult up. So I think blue team's still in a better position to fight right now. Looks like they do have new inhibitor and tower icons. I actually just noticed that. The inhibitors are now little circles, and the towers look like T's. So, I mean, all in all, good change, I think. Nice little update. Helps keep things in perspective so you know what's what. I thought the towers was a little funny. Couldn't put my finger on it, though. But it seems to be a change of the map. Of just the mini-map, of course. I'm still waiting for that new Summoner Rift for you to come out. I mean, it's on my heart and mind. It's the only thing I can think about every day. And it looks like we are going to maybe have a fight break out. This is a 4v5. The Ari going to get initiated on. Will she pop her zone? The answer to that is no. She's going to eat a ton of damage to the face. Will be brought down. Graves going to go down next, no doubt. And the Sion doing his best, but just no one focuses the Sion. And he becomes super sad as all his tanky stats are for naught. He just ends up slowly dying at the end of the fight. And unfortunately, he will not be able to do anything as his passive wears off. And that is going to be that. The inhibitor is still down for blue team, but red team's not been able to make any gains so far. Ari standing a bit too close. She did get and just got straight initiated on by Vi. Really hurt her ability to do anything in that fight. Did not get her zoners off because she doesn't have a zoners. It's hard to use a zoners when you don't have one. I can attest to that as someone who's tried to use one without actually having the item in my inventory. It's hard. You gotta do things that are illegal, and well, by illegal I mean illegal in the game, not illegal in real life. But gotta do things like hacking into the game and changing the files and paying off Riot employees. It's difficult. And it looks like we are going to have the blue team continuing to push up this mid lane. Now they have gotten a team fight advantage. They feel strong. They feel in charge. They feel like the rulers of their world. And unfortunately, this might be the Sion pick coming in to bite the red team in the ass. Oh, but we do have the turnaround initiation from Annie out of nowhere from the behind. This is what we like to call the ADC getting REKT wrecked. And we are going to see her going down. The Oriana does pick up the Ari, and the Thresh picks up the Ashe. So all in all, 3 for 2, a decent trade. But that's a lot. That's pretty much all of blue team's damage now down the Pooper. And right now we are going to have red team no doubt looking to pick up a couple inhibitors for themselves. Thresh going to miss his hook. And not really a big chance that Heimerdinger can be able to do much right here. And it looks like they might just go for the Thresh. He will be able to get away thanks to his flash though. Hook going to come out and grab a minion, which he will of course proceed to farm. And right now we do see the Graves farming up this inhibitor, and that is going to be going down. And the hook coming out on the side. Now looks like he's going to be going down. Unfortunately, overstayed his welcome, and Hashinshin going to pick up his 5th death of the game. It looked so good at the start, but now he's 1, 5, and 8, and sad to say the least. Right now, the blue team going to be all respawning, whereas the purple team still waiting on Sion to respawn, as he did just die, but they did pick up 2 inhibitors. So trading Sion for 2 inhibitors, more than worth the trade. But the gold nearing very close to equal. Only a 5k difference, 30 minutes into the game, 33 minutes. Not too big of a difference. I mean, definitely manageable from the blue team. So this is still anyone's game. The thing is that they're missing 2 inhibitors. That's a lot of map pressure lost. The lanes from the mid lane and bot lane are gonna be pushing in constantly now, and they've got to deal with that. It looks like red team might transition over the top lane, and they can. They can move to the top lane. When Baron spawns in 2 minutes, they can pressure that because the inhibitors will be down mid and bot, and they have to react to that. It's not like blue team cannot focus on those lanes pushing in, because they're going to lose Nexus turrets very fast if they try to fully contest a Baron when it respawns. So could go either way right now. Red team can play the waiting game, or they can try to shove down top lane. It's one way or the other that they're going to be playing this one. And it looks like for right now they are going to be playing the waiting game, but this could change to either way if they find a pick. Looks like Sion's actually going to be pressuring the bot lane, helping those super minions push a little bit faster. Oh, they do know Ari's in the top lane. Thresh coming in to collapse with the Donger. She doesn't know the Donger's there. Actually, she does. The turrets are active, so she has to know. The charm actually going to land on the Thresh, doing a ton of damage. He's going to get bursted down like there's no tomorrow. The Heimerdinger going to pop his Zonias, but in the end, he's just going to die. And now it looks like Sion once Corki will miss the ultimate, but get up for his Corki back, so it's just as good, to be honest. I mean, even if he doesn't hit it, Corki's forced to turn towards the enemy team. So all in all, the ultimate very good at keeping Corki corralled And with 3 members lost, it's going to be an easy turret for red team. And I mean, just all in all, probably an easy victory for them as well. Only 2 members of blue team remaining. Red team definitely has the momentum to turn and win. Looks like they're going to go for Mega Creeps, but first they're going to go for the Orianna. She does pop her Zonias, but will no doubt die when she comes out. Does have the flash, gets 2 in her ultimate, but it's too little, too late. And all around, good play from red team right there. Secured them the victory. That was a little bit aggressive. Thresh and Heimerdinger against an Ahri. Honestly, I would not have gone for that as Thresh. I think that was a really big mistake. And it looks like we are going to see the game getting cleaned up here. 1 Nexus Tower falls. Thresh falls. Another Nexus turret falls. And in its wake, the Nexus falls as well. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Raidmaster. Shoutcasting high-level League of Legends games with those types of Hashinshin and Nightblue. And all in all, good games. Just a few mistakes there from blue team. That last engagement on the Ahri, I mean, it's a Heimerdinger. What's he really going to do for you? Sure, even if he hit the hook on Ahri, what is Heimerdinger going to do? Ult some missiles? Maybe. I just don't think it's enough, honestly. That's a very risky thing to go in on, especially when you have no vision on anyone else and the Ahri knows you're there. She's got her ultimate to dodge Heimerdinger's stuff and kite around his turrets. And there's not really much you can do in that situation as Thresh and Heimerdinger's. But, of course, he missed the hook, got charmed, died, Heimerdinger died, Corki died. So, all in all, a pick gone horribly wrong. And that will be the game. I will see you guys next time.